The midnight hour is upon us. It's time once again for two internet strangers to discuss the good and evil of the horror genre. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the terror within the Hallow-Holics Anonymous podcast.
Good ad lib so far.
Hold on.
Well, you did say you didn't write anything. I'm not being stupid and like...
Oh, no, I didn't write anything.
Okay, I'm not even open to... Where did Discord go?
Oh, okay. Here we go. I've got an idea. White on white, translucent, black capes, back on their front.
Bela Lugosi's dead. The bats have left the bell tower.
Alright, now we got it rolling. Just keep
blood
going.
red velvet lines. The black box.
Suddenly I'm thinking
Bela
of Wall of
Lugosi's...
Voodoo.
Sorry. What?
Suddenly I'm thinking of Wall of Voodoo, and I just want to sing about being on a Mexican radio.
I feel a hot wind on my shoulder. Blowing in from south of the border. I've actually been listening to a lot of Wall of Voodoo lately.
Oh, they're great. Not a lot of their stuff is accessible for most people, but it's fun.
No, this guy, Dave, I talk about him sometime, the guy I make music with, we were talking about, like, he wants to cover a bunch of 80s stuff. I'm not, like, a fan of doing covers unless unless I destroy the original when I do it.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So we were talking, he's like, pick 3 80s songs you want to cover. And I immediately said Wall of Voodoo. He's like, no, they're too hard. Because he's an actual musician.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'm not even a musician.
So we're not doing Wall of Voodoo now.
Hi, I'm Maddy.
And I'm Corey.
And this is Hallow-Holics Anonymous,
a show dedicated to all things horror and occasionally Halloween. And sometimes our skits are apparently just random conversations.
I hope you liked that wonderfully performed rendition of Bela Lugosi's Dead.
Don't forget about Mexican radio.
Yeah. You can pick up our CD on the way out.
Yeah, and it's going to be great because, you know, my voice is amazing.
Yeah, of course. Maniac cop, maniac.
Oh, God, I forgot about that. Maniac cop. Oh, God.
This week, we're talking about vampires, codependent relationships.
And just going about your day as a hipster in New York City.
That, too. Also drugs, the AIDS epidemic, Larry Fessenden, David Bowie.
Susan Sarandon. Are we just going to name everybody in the movie now?
Yeah, Catherine Deneuve.
Oh, they pronounced it really weird in the trailer.
Did
like he was like, and Catherine Deneuve. Or something ridiculous like that. I'm sure you'll play the trailer and hear it. But...
Oh, yeah, I will. We're just talking about vampire movies that are slightly less conventional.
And one that is barely a vampire movie.
Oh, would that be The Hunger?
No, Habit.
Habit is very much a vampire movie, sir.
Dude, Habit's about a dude going about his day.
At least at one point she has fangs.
That's a good point. No, we'll get to that. I didn't hate Habit, but I have words.
Oh, you have words?
I have
That's
some
unusual.
Words. Yeah, I know. I never talk.
But before we launch into our movies this week, Corey.
I have a horror pack. Because apparently we're a monthly show now.
We really are. Like,
I know.
The last episode, we talked about the winter storm, and it's going to be up weeks after that storm.
Yeah, seriously. And it's actually warm here now. Well, warm for Pennsylvania winter.
I mean, it's like 70, so it's pretty cool here for Texas weather.
No, that's true. We've been pretty steadily in the 50s. All right, horror pack this month. 1 movie I've seen, 3 I've never heard of. Start with the one I've seen. Actually, we might have talked about this movie, or I think we planned to talk about it and then didn't do it, maybe.
What is it?
Satanic Panic?
We didn't talk about that movie, but we talked about the subject of Satanic Panic.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's not called Satanic Panic anymore. They must have changed it before they released it. It's just called Panic. Okay. Studios got scared, apparently.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Tipper Gore must have gotten mad.
Mm-hmm. Sacrifices Must Be Made. Panic. Starring Haley Griffith, Rudy Modine, Jerry O'Connell, and Rebecca Romaine.
I do like Jerry O'Connell.
Me too. I mean, it's not a bad movie. From the author of My Best Friend's Exorcism. Sam's first day as a pizza delivery driver is not going according to plan. At the end of a long day and not enough tips, her last delivery turns out to be for a group of Satanists looking for someone to sacrifice, as they do. Now, in a fight for her life, Sam must fend off witches, evil spells, and demonic creatures, all while trying to keep her body and soul intact. Starring Haley Griffith. Oh, all those people I already said.
Mm-hmm. Again.
Satanic Panic will satisfy viewers' need for monsters, mayhem, and jokes. Weird. So they call it Satanic Panic on the back, but anywhere like somebody shopping would see it, it's just Panic. So they totally sissied out on that. I don't care. It's not a very good movie. It was okay. That other one was better. Came out around the same time, about the girls in the 80s that go to the show and then take the boys back to their farm.
I haven't seen that one.
I don't know. It turns out the girls are like fundamentalist Christians, and they're faking Satanic Panic to like get more people saved.
That sounds funnier.
Yeah, it's called. I told you to watch it at some point.
You've told me to watch a lot of things.
I know. I own it. I'm gonna look for it real quick. All right, where's it at? I think it started with a W. Oh. We Summon the Darkness.
Ah, okay.
Oh, I forgot I watched Tom Cruise's Mummy movie.
Ugh.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad, though. All right, next is Jack Ketchum's The Lost. It is unrelenting, a vicious, abrasive film. Oh, I dropped my flashlight. All right.
That's a weird thing to include in the description.
It's very dark everywhere I exist. Oh, woe is me.
What does this have to do with the movie? I'm intrigued.
Well, I don't like overhead lighting, so everything in my room right now when we record is red.
Is the film description talking to me now?
I'm getting to it. All right. Once upon a time, a boy named Ray Pye put crushed beer cans in his boots to make himself taller. But this is no fairy tale. For suburban sociopath Ray and his friends, small-town life is a dead-end road of sex, drugs, liars, and losers. And what begins with a sudden act of senseless violence will climax in a mind-blowing frenzy of depravity, with the worst still yet to come. A bunch of people co-star in this controversial shocker adapted from the infamous novel by Jack Ketchum and based on the true story that stunned America.
Does it really say a bunch of people co-star?
No, I didn't feel like reading it. But like Dee Wallace is in it.
Oh, Dee Wallace, yeah. All of her movies are amazing.
But that's the only person I know in this. So yeah, The Lost, I don't know. I'm curious as to what the, quote, true story is behind it. I'm sure it's crap. Any movie that, like, says it's controversial on the back of it is not controversial.
I'm sure Trainspotting probably said it was controversial.
Probably. And I get Trainspotting was.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, next up we have Werewolf, Survive the Dogs of War.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, just based on the cover, it looks like werewolves attacking a concentration camp.
Who are they attacking?
I assume little Jewish kids.
Oh, because if they were attacking the Nazis at the concentration...
No, it doesn't look like it. It's got like a wolf barking behind all these little kids in what looks like old prison outfits. Let's read the back. Yep, I'm right. Summer 1945. A temporary orphanage is established in an abandoned palace surrounded by forests for the 8 children liberated from the Gross-Rosen camp. Honka, also a former inmate, becomes their guardian. After the atrocities of the camp, the protagonists slowly begin to regain what is left of their childhood, but the horror returns quickly. Camp Alsatians roam the forest around? What does that mean? Camp Alsatians roam the forest around.
Oh, well, Alsace is a country between Germany and France.
Or region. Maybe.
It's switched ownership back and forth. I think it's part of France right now.
Oh, I guess they're supposed to be dogs, because next it says, released by the SS Orion, they have gone feral and are starving. So I guess they're dogs.
That makes
sense. It must be a breed of dog.
Ah, yes.
I bet that's it. All right, so looking for food.
This bad movie.
Looking for food, they besiege the palace. The children are terrified, and their camp survival instinct is triggered. Huh. So a bunch of dudes, or a bunch of kids that got out of a concentration camp have to fight off feral dogs. Or maybe a werewolf. I don't know.
That's depressing.
And I'll never find out, because I'll never watch it. All right. And finally, last but not least, were any of these the Horror Pack Limited Edition? Did I not get a Horror Pack Limited Edition this month? Nope. Werewolf is the Horror Pack Limited Edition. All right. Next up is the Extra Yummy Collector's Edition of the movie Yummy. Facelifts, boob jobs, and zombies.
I could have done without the boob jobs.
It's a tasty comedy, or it's a tasty zombie comedy with a buffet of gory effects. Or no, gory treats, I'm sorry. A young couple travels to a shady Eastern European hospital for plastic surgery. Why does Hollywood hate Eastern Europe so much? Like, everything bad that happens to people happens in Eastern Europe now.
I think that's always been the case. You can blame Bela Lugosi.
I will. But, I mean, it won't matter. You know why?
He's dead.
Bela Lugosi is dead. The young woman wants a breast reduction. Her mother comes along for yet another facelift. Wandering through an abandoned ward, the boyfriend stumbles upon a young woman gagged and strapped to an operating table. She's the result of experimental rejuvenation treatment. He frees her, but he doesn't realize she's patient zero, and he just caused the outbreak of a virus that will change the doctors, patients, and his mother-in-law into bloodthirsty zombies.
Well, isn't she already a bloodthirsty zombie?
So yeah, that's Horror Pack. I don't even know what to say. I feel shame every time I do the Horror Pack thing now, because I just have all this stuff that I'm never going to even open.
Well, at least you're saving other people from opening.
I don't know, maybe when I retire. So in like 20 years, I'll watch all these Blu-rays if I can find something to play them on in 20 years.
Well, there is one movie you did watch.
Sarah Roberts is in jeopardy.
Hey, lady, how about it?
Stay with her.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, Willem Dafoe's in it, too.
Yeah,
for she has begun to feel the awful horror of the hunger. John Blaylock. The hunger has given him everlasting life. Until now,
except it didn't.
Pray for him. Miriam Blaylock. She feeds one day in 7 on the unsuspecting, and soon she will turn into something that you will never be able to forget, no matter how hard and how long you try.
A lesbian.
Fear her.
She turned into dust.
Forever.
I will immediately forget that. In fact, I forgot it for 20 years.
The signs terminate right here.
Oh, all the porn monkeys.
The timeless beauty of Catherine Deneuve. The cruel elegance of David Bowie. The open sensuality of Susan Sarandon. Combined to create a modern classic of perverse fear.
What?
Haunting, mysterious, sensual, strange, perverse, riveting. The hunger.
You know, you could have used all of those words to describe David Bowie.
Mm-hmm. I didn't catch him saying. Did you listen to the way he said Catherine Deneuve's name?
Deneuve.
I missed it in that. It was something like Deneuve. All right, so before we start, I'm just going to read my notes as I wrote them, and I think it describes everything really well. Vampire gets old fast, sees doctor, dies. Doctor bones older vamp, eats boyfriend and offs herself. Old vamp gets attacked by dead, quote, lovers. Ages fast, dies. Doctor doesn't die. Took all the bodies, moved to a fancy new place, became Polly. That's my notes. And you get no answers.
So what you're saying is you loved it.
Oh, no, I did love it. I love this movie. I probably hadn't seen it in like 20 years, and I forgot weird stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought that, my brain forgot Susan Sarandon's character entirely.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, sort of. The character I forgot. And I didn't think, or I didn't know that Catherine Deneuve was in this anymore. I thought it was David Bowie meets Susan Sarandon, makes her a vampire, she doesn't want to be a vampire, blah, 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 blah. And then at the end, Susan Sarandon was the one who got killed by all the old lovers.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine my surprise when I was totally wrong.
Well, the studio's tacked on that ending.
Oh, I didn't know that. That makes sense, though. I actually really like the ending. I'm okay with it, but
the original ending just had both of them dying.
That makes sense. That's how it felt.
Mm-hmm. There's actually a trilogy of books.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm.
So would this movie be the first book, or is it like a weird amalgamation of all three?
Well, I only really found out about the books through an interview I read from Sarandon, so I'm not really sure. I think this would have been the first book, probably. Yeah, it makes sense. I'll have to try to find him. Mm.
So yeah, David Bowie and Catherine Deneuve play vampires who are super old. David Bowie's character starts to age super quickly, like I said. He goes and meets this doctor, played by Susan Sarandon. And then he comes back, and like while he's waiting for her, he gets super old. Then he goes home and eventually dies, all within like a day. And I think it turns out that this happens to everyone that Catherine Deneuve's character sires.
Yes.
I think that's the idea and why she keeps them all in boxes. And Susan Sarandon goes looking for him, meets Catherine Deneuve's character. They get naked. She gets turned into a vampire. Excuse me. Oh, David Bowie killed a kid.
Yeah, it was the teenage girl that Catherine was grooming to be her next lover.
Ew, that's what was happening?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get that at all. That's so gross. Poor kid.
I think part of the reason he killed her was jealousy, but I think another part is he didn't want to see her become like him someday. He didn't want her to go through that.
Mm-hmm. I kind of took that.
Kindness.
Oh yeah, he did. And he apologized before he did it. But I kind of took that as he's starving, he's practically feral, and he feels like maybe this is his last chance to get some of his life back before he just dies and fades away.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he murders a kid, which is a really good, brutal scene. Like this movie's, it looks so good. I forgot how every single shot in this movie is could be a famous photograph. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like
Tony Scott killed it, or whoever the director of photography was killed it.
The main thing you remember about this movie is how atmospheric it is. That's most of the
And I think that was the point too. I think it was supposed to be. I think they were paying more attention to atmosphere than they were plot. I mean, it's not a bad plot. It's nothing new or special, really. You know what I mean?
Well,
I mean, it was hard to be new because it came out in the 80s, but
look at the opening. It's a Bauhaus music video.
Mm-hmm. When Peter Murphy was still young.
Yeah. Before he was punching cops.
Right. I forgot to look that up. We can't slander Peter Murphy. It might not have been a cop. It might have been a fan. I don't know.
I'm sorry, Peter, if you didn't do that. But if you did... Seriously, what the hell, man? But also, sorry if you didn't
If it was a cop, Peter, punch more cops.
Oh, whoa.
Not to get political, I'm just saying. Just sometimes...
We're not making that into a shirt.
I might. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say.
I really think this film would have like, it would have taken it the next mile over and made it much more memorable if we'd just gotten, like, maybe 10 or 15 minutes more of David Bowie and expanded on that relationship with that young girl.
Yeah, I think that everybody's relationship could have stood to be drawn out a little bit longer. Like, the movie was like, the runtime was like an hour 36 or something. I think if they just put 25 more minutes of characterization for everybody and maybe some more, like, relationship stuff, everything would hit a little better.
I also would have liked it a little more if you'd seen some, like, a sort of sexual dynamic between Sarandon and Bowie, too.
Yeah, that's true. And again, that's something I remembered from the first time I watched this.
Well, you can't be on screen with David Bowie and not be drawn to him.
No, not at all. Like, the whole time I'm watching any scene with him, like, touching her, I'm like, man, that girl was probably like, David Bowie touched my boob. She probably told everybody forever. I would have.
There's a biography I saw at the store the other day called something like I Was There, and it's all about people telling stories of how they met David Bowie.
Well, that sounds awesome. I bet it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, also with this movie, you don't get any answers.
Mm-mm.
Like, you don't know why they're aging quickly. You don't know why it only happens to her lovers. What else don't you ever figure out?
It's like a dream.
Yeah, it is like a dream. Oh, you never figure out, like, Susan Sarandon's work is in reversing aging and all that stuff. You don't get any payoff there. Like, just everything in this movie just kind of happens and then the movie stops. And I really like that about this movie. It's not always done well, but it's done well here, I think.
Well, she kind of does get that goal. It's just it's only for her.
Oh, yeah. I'm speaking more of, like, saving Bowie's life.
Oh, yeah, no, that was.
Or unlife or whatever. Like, you know, maybe not letting monkeys kill each other anymore, that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, she didn't show a lot of empathy for those dead monkeys.
No, none at all, actually. It was very clinical. I guess that's her thing, though.
Yeah, she was madder that her research was set back.
Mm-hmm. So this movie was recommended to me back in the early days of the internet. Like pre-social, this is like 95, 96 maybe, late 95 probably. Like any of the goth things on the internet, like if you ask them what movies were required watching for young goth kids, this was always one of them. And I was trying to remember the rest of them. I even tried to find the old sites to see if I could find proof of this, but I couldn't find anything. So I was very conservative in the movies I picked from that list, and I made sure I only picked ones that I knew were there. So The Hunger, obviously. Mm-hmm. Near Dark was a big one.
I love Near Dark.
Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Mm-hmm.
And Brain Scan. Those are the only ones I remember.
I'm surprised Martin isn't on there.
It could have been.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't remember these 4 movies, the only ones I totally remember. Hellraiser could have been there too, but I couldn't remember, so I didn't put it there.
Seems like Hellraiser would be, but that might be more the metal scene.
Or industrial, yeah. I mean, this one's very obvious. Mm-hmm. Bauhaus is in it. It's very atmospheric. It's gothy, you know.
There's romanticism for Time Gone By.
Mm-hmm. I think Near Dark's on that list just because, like, dirty cowboy vampires were cool. Mm-hmm. And still are.
Well, and also, like, Bill Paxton was awesome in that movie.
I'm not sure why Brain Scan was on that list, though. Unless it's, like,
Which Brain
the antagonist in that war. The one with the weird-looking demon dude that comes out of the video game.
Oh, okay.
I think the whole reason that movie is on the list is probably because he wears velvet top coats.
I think so, and also the, like, weird alienation of the kid who's obsessed with video games, maybe.
Yeah, it could be. And I have no idea why Henry, Portrait of the Serial Killer made that list. I mean, it could be alienation, it could be shock. I have no idea. But I know it was there. I remember. It is a good movie. I've never seen the sequel, though. I'm sure it's terrible.
I'd recommend Hunger for people who like vampire movies.
Yeah, if you like vampire movies, if you like staring at pictures on your wall, If you like taking pictures.
If you like David Bowie. If you like the 80s.
Like people, if you like 80s people being fancy.
If you like the color blue.
If you want to see Susan Sarandon's boobs.
If you think there's just not enough curtains in the movies I watch these days.
Or statues. If you want to see the only person in New York that lives in a house that takes up an entire block, this is the movie for you. I'm sure other people don't. I don't know anything about rich people.
I don't know anything about New York.
Yeah, I don't either. I was there once. That's about it.
You know, Larry Fessenden knows a lot about New York.
Larry Fessenden does know a lot about New York.
Larry
the hip, artsy side of New York.
About New York. Hold on. I'm not prepared for anything tonight.
It's the theme of the evening. No, it's me too. I'm trying to make you feel better, for fuck's sake. I need to buy that.
Oh, it's a great
The Larry Fessenden collection.
Independent cinema since 1985 would like to invite you and 100 of your closest friends to spend a little time in Sam's world.
Where he just goes about his normal stuff and gets chewed on by a vampire sometimes.
Voice calls, vivid, as evocative of New York-style paranoia as Bad Lieutenant, Rosemary's Baby, or Taxi Driver.
That's true.
I can see that.
And Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times calls a sad and haunting film. Joe Lydon of Variety calls wickedly amusing, erotically charged. But we want to know what you think. From New York filmmaker Larry Fessenden, winner of the 19...
Wow, they're really pushing the New York thing here, man.
Well, I mean, when people think of New York film horror, specifically, unfortunately, they usually just think of trauma.
That's true.
Maybe they're trying to class it up.
Maybe. I'm okay with thinking about trauma. I love trauma.
Well, a lot of good stuff came out of Glass Eye Pictures, which is Larry's company.
Oh, actually, I don't know that.
Yeah.
What has transpired between you and Anna that's making you so crazy?
Let me tell you this, man.
God, there's some great camera shots. Like, for the budget, it's pretty impressive.
In a darkened theater.
Well, that's what I really like about his stuff. Like, Wendigo's the same deal. Like, it looks so good. It's so slow, but it looks so good.
I don't know, it's just like our little thing, like me and Anna, right? It's over, Sam.
At least I remember it looking good. I haven't seen it in like 5 or 6 years.
It looks good.
Or 10 years.
Hold on 1 second, I'm gonna stop the screen.
Oh god, I almost put my flashlight in my water. That was weird.
You and that flashlight.
I explained to you why. It's completely reasonable.
Sam's life has pretty much fallen apart, and it has been for some time. His girlfriend leaves him after she can't handle his crap anymore. His father's just died. In between trying to get all of his dad's stuff out of his apartment and prepare for the funeral and the wake, he can't stop drinking day in, day out. His best friend wanders the streets with a bottle of beer in his hand 24/7 as well. And then he meets a girl who's a worse addiction than the alcohol and the cigarettes, frankly. And she's a vampire, I think. Or maybe she doesn't even exist.
Oh, you're thinking that's a thing?
No, I think she existed.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm going to summarize it now. Habit is a movie about a hip fella going about his day with his hip friends in New York and sometimes getting attacked by a vampire.
Okay, that works.
That's what happens.
I don't really think he's hip. I think he's at that point past being hip where the party's kind of over and the people who are ready to move on have moved on, and he's still kind of in their lives.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. And it's just really sad. I mean, beginning to end, you see him wake up in the afternoon. He's got a can of beer, arrives at a party already plastered to the point that if someone came to my party like that, I'd feel uncomfortable and I'd try to get someone to take them home.
Yeah, I would immediately toss him out.
He falls asleep on the subway. Someone, cuts his pocket open and takes his money. He buys coffee at a gas station, pours it into a pot, passes out, and then reheats the pot. And then what does he do? He goes to work at a bar and he has a shot of beer to help with his hangover. He's just constantly drinking. The man is obviously going to die anyway. And the girl he meets is mostly a symptom of that problem. I think she probably sought him out because he's killing himself.
Oh, I'm sure that's why. My summary makes it sound like I didn't like this movie, and I really did. Like we were talking about, it looks really, really good. It's just so, like nothing happens for most of the movie. And that's okay. I like movies like that sometimes, but...
When it gives you a good opportunity to just watch this relationship start... There's one really sweet scene where they're in the bathtub together, sharing feelings, mostly him sharing feelings, and you think, oh, this could be something real. And that's the last sweet moment they have together. Mm-hmm. And it just quickly spirals out of control.
Do you think the whole time she was just planning on killing him, or do you think she was going to turn him, or...
I think she felt for him. In probably the only way she could. I don't think her goal was just to kill him, but he had his habit and she had hers.
Yeah. I think any other movie that tackles something like this, I would think that she was planning on turning him. But with this one, it really felt like she was mostly just hunting him.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's sad. When she first saw him at the party, you could tell he looked like a target to her.
Yeah, yeah.
When she heard he was with his friends at the carnival, she quickly got him to separate from them. She doesn't want to be with him when he's with other people because she just wants to tear him apart.
To be fair, I don't really want to be around people when I'm like one person is often my limit. Well, and even then, one person is sometimes too much.
Yeah, I don't recommend you meet Anna, Corey. I'm a little concerned for you.
No, I think I'm okay because I haven't given up on my life. I don't think I run around and irritate people the way that he probably does.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure I don't, because I don't even drink that much anymore.
Do you hear the dog, yawn whining behind me?
Yeah, I heard that. Hi, Lucy.
No, that was Angel.
Oh.
No, Angel, get out of here. She stopped and heard her name and looked at me. Yeah, this was Larry Fessenden. He directed and wrote it, and this was his second feature film, but the first one to actually get... Yes, Angel, I know you love this movie. What are you doing back here? Lucy's in my lap. It's the first film to get any attention for him, and people started actually paying attention. He was nominated for the Independent Spirit Award for Best Cinematography and Best Director. He got the Independent Spirit Award for Someone to Watch. Yeah. It was a good movie.
Oh, and he didn't do anything in between this and Wendigo in 2001.
Well, no, not really, but... I
didn't realize Wendigo was so old.
Wendigo's pretty old, yeah. Mm-hmm. But Larry Fessenden, he's not just a writer, not just a director. This was the only film he starred in, but he's generally an actor too. He does, he's been DP a few times, director of photography. He does a lot of crew work, camera work, sound, cinematography, editing. I mean, he does everything.
Oh, I forgot he was in The Dead Don't Die.
Oh, yeah, he was great in The Dead Don't Die.
Yeah, I have seen him in a million things, but looking through the list of stuff he acts in, I don't recognize any of it.
I mean, I recognize it because I'm always looking for him, or when he shows up on screen, I'm always like, Larry Fessenden!
Right.
He's very distinctive, but I mean, if he's not one of your favorite actors, you're not going to notice him.
Oh, I forgot. We talked about Until Dawn last time we recorded too, and he was the flamethrower guy.
He also co-wrote it. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Well, that explains why I like it.
Pretty sure he directed it. I have to look into that.
I need to watch We Are Still Here. It keeps coming up and stuff.
We Are Still Here is an excellent film.
Yeah, I don't recognize any of this stuff, but I know I've seen him like a bunch.
He was in I Sell the Dead. He was great in that.
That's a really good movie.
Love that movie. One thing I wanted to mention is that I actually got this by buying the Larry Fessenden collection from Shout Factory, which has a lot of stuff on it. It's got No Telling, Wendigo, Habit, The Last Winter. It's got a really cool booklet on his career. It's got some of his short films, music videos. Everything has fantastic audio commentary. It's all been upscaled, cleaned up. The HD transfer of Habit was really, really good. I haven't looked at the others yet.
I watched it. I watched a okay version on YouTube.
Oh man, you need to get the Larry Fessenden collection, and it's so cheap. It's like $27 on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I'm looking it up now.
Mm-hmm. It's also got storyboards and sketches. That's cool.
Oh, cool.
I'm looking at the back of the collection right now.
Wait, it's $57 on Amazon right now. You must have gotten it at a good time.
I must have. Oh, and his wife directed Stakeland.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Did he direct the sequel, or was he just in it?
Not sure.
Oh wait, it was what? Stakeland Origins TV series, 3 episodes. I didn't know about that. Yeah, the first Stakeland's great. I hear the second one's not so great.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't either.
Oh, and his wife's name is Beck Underwood, by the way. It's not just Larry Fessenden's wife.
It was very progressive of you.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a movie called Satan Hates You. How have I never seen that?
He's in a lot of stuff. It's impossible to have seen all of it.
Yeah, but a movie called Satan Hates You?
It does seem like a movie you'd watch.
Yeah, that's exactly something I need to see.
It's an accurate title, though. Satan does hate you.
Does he?
He does.
I don't know. I think he's probably, he's got a vested interest in man. I think that he likes people.
I don't think he does.
See, you're on the wrong team here. I can't... I don't think we can talk about this and either of us will ever be able to win. And that's what it's about, Maddy. It's about winning.
I think both of these movies are downers, but they're not downers in the way of our unreleased episode, The Witchfinder General, and what was the other one? The Plague or something? The Black Death.
The Black Plague, yeah.
Yeah, because these are both visually stunning and you enjoy watching them.
I enjoyed watching. Yeah. No, I didn't. It was heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
God, I always forget that we did that, and then every time you mention it, it's so funny to me that we have an episode that it's too depressing to release.
It's just I can't go back and edit that. I don't want to hear and be reminded about those movies in one afternoon.
I need to go back and see if I have I think I still have all the recordings we did before I rebuilt my computer. I think I have them on a hard drive. I'll have to look at it at some point.
I would highly recommend checking both of these films out. Especially, again, if you like vampire movies, but you want something a little different, because these focus on the negative aspect. They don't make them into these... Well, okay, one of them makes them into beautiful creatures, but they don't make them into the kind of thing you'd want to be.
Well, I mean, they're all beautiful creatures in both of these. Like, the girl in Habit's really cute, too. But especially the girl in Habit, she's, feral. She's a hunter, you know what I mean? All 3 of these vampires are hunters. You know, they just happen to be pretty.
I don't think her character has any animosity towards him.
Yeah, I don't think any of them really kill with animosity, though.
I think she's giving him what he wants, even though he fights it. She knows he wants to die.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what else to say to that, but I agree.
Yeah.
Good talk.
I still wouldn't want to be either type of vampire in either of these movies.
No, if I'm going to be a vampire, I'm going to be either the dude with the dark hair who gets death by stereo in...
Dwayne.
Who?
Lost Boys. Dwayne. Lost Boys.
Yeah, Lost Boys. I either want to be him or a cross between Bill Paxton and Lance Henriksen in... I want to be Lance Henriksen in Bill Paxton's outfit in Near Dark. That's like my dream vampire.
I want to be Bill Paxton in Lance Henriksen's outfit.
We can cosplay this someday.
Bill Paxton's face, Lance Henriksen's voice.
Can we dress your boyfriend up as the little boy vampire? Give him a dirty little overcoat.
As Homer?
Yeah, as Homer. Give him a dirty little overcoat, a revolver, really greasy hair.
I mean, he's taller than me, sure.
Okay. I mean, he could be Diamondback, too, if he wants to be.
Oh, God. He hates that movie.
Oh, no. Yeah. I'll let it go because you're dating him, but that's a little bit of a hit to our friendship.
Hate is a passionate word. He just didn't like it.
I mean, it's got one of the worst endings in the history of good movies. You know what I mean? That's the worst ending ever.
It's slightly better if you listen to the director commentary because she at least explains the purpose, but yeah, I'm not big on that ending.
No, me either.
I would have preferred if it ended right before that sequence.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Fucking blood transfusions, man.
A horse vet.
What?
From a horse doctor.
I forgot he was a horse doctor. Oh, Jack Death.
If you want to find our blog, you can check us out at hallow-holic.blogspot.com or hallow-holic.wordpress.com.
If you want to, even though you never will, you can tweet at us at Nowhere23 or by searching Hallow-Holics in the Twitterverse.
Think of something clever to say and hashtag us. Is that how it works?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
So the man is just taking a nap today, so I'm gonna give him the night off, and I'm just gonna say, go to podpedia.org and search our portal, HHA.
Like his eyes are wide open.
Yeah, I know. That's just how he sleeps.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah. He's been here for like 3 years now, Maddy.
Oh, okay.
This is how he sleeps.
Okay, fine. If you want to email us at hallow-holics@outlook.com, go for it.
It was only creepy for the first 6 months.
Oh, okay. And then you just got used to it.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah, good night. Wait.
Oh, yeah, what are we doing next week? We actually thought of this before. Normally we have to spend 10 minutes figuring it out.
I
gotta find the title.
3 films.
All
okay,
right.
We're going to talk about 2 of them and really go into one of them, but, you know.
Yes.
The first film, which is an incredible classic, Corey.
Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, I thought you were going to name yours, but...
No, well, mine has to come after Night of the Living Dead.
Okay. And then we'll follow it up with Night of the Living Bread.
And then after that, we will follow it up with Night of the Day of the Dawn of the Son of the Bride of the Return of the Revenge of the Terror of the Attack of the Evil Mutant Hellbound Flesh-Eating Subhumanoid Zombified Living Dead Part 3.
Which is obviously the greatest of the trilogy we've created.
Oh, yeah. And I'm totally not going to tell you guys what it's about until next time.
Mm-hmm. Good night, guys.
Good night. Thanks for listening.